Good evening, this is Kuro. Got a tier 10 game and my Grozovoy. This is a random battle. I'm just going through getting my super containers. I'm going to pause this a second, going over the matchmaking. CV battle. Uh, this was completely random and I'm loving it. Every time I get a CV game in my Grozovoy, I just smile. Going over the matchmaking. More of the usual. Triple Wooster. Minotaur, Neptune, couple Shimikazes. All in all, this can be kind of pain in the ass matchmaking for a Grozovoy. Um, if you if you don't play it smart, if you're trying to cap and stuff against this, you can really get caught. So we're gonna go ahead and kick this guy off. Loading in, I spawn on D side. Ignore my typing in the chat. I can't alphabet today. Uh, I'm used to typing D instead or C instead of D, so that's what I'm in my head. That's just what I'm doing. So my game plan, if you look at my mini map, my detection is 6.7 kilometers. I'm not running concealment expert. Um, so basically, my game plan is I want to try to use some island cover to get up here and try to spot some of these cruisers trying to get into position up here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this little island here to try to mask my approach and use the cap itself to let me know if there's any destroyers pushing up. Last thing I want to do is get caught by, Shimmatorps coming through, this sort of direction that, forces me to turn into the enemy and, get radared and wrecked. So, excuse me. My CV's sending his planes this way, and looking at his deployment, I kind of like it. He's sending his strike package to D. He's got a Minotaur, and a Wooster all over here. He's got AA bubble for days. So he's sending his strike package down here. Only one fighter, um, and he's using his other two fighters to basically contest A, spot it, make it basically harass any destroyers coming here. And that's a sign of a good CV player, right? Pushed up here, I spot the Minotaur briefly, and I get, of course, radared. And since I'm radared, I'm shooting. Um, this little rock shielded me from the first volley, and I'm turning out and I'm kiting away. Wooster gets one good lick on me, and I'm already moving out. Um, but the nice thing is, all of these guys that are shooting at me, everybody back here in my team can do it. And this is my smoke screen here that I just laid just for my light cruisers. I knew that I wasn't going to be trying to play for the cap, that I'd likely be having people shooting at me. So this is me just, doing a favor for my light cruisers. Let them save their consumable and just be a good teammate. I took a little bit of damage, and in exchange for that, we basically got the Neptune killed. Decap is being capped right now, and I know there's got to be a Shimikaze up there because I was just spotting through there and didn't see anything. So it's got to be one of them sneaky Shimas. So I'm gonna approach the cap, and this is why I'm using this little ledge here as torpedo cover. And one of my cruisers popped radar. I think it's the Wooster. I couldn't tell you for sure though if it's a radar Mino or not. Um, so I take a few shots on this Shima. I know he's gonna bugger off because he just got radared, and this creates the opportunity for a DD that has a large concealment radius to actually get into cap. create the opportunity to cap first. If you look, this Wooster's pulled back. He can't radar me. Um, this is prime for me. Uh, this everything that we did, we kind of created a bunch of shock hitting this enemy team, and they're all like pulling back, trying to regroup, and I'm not giving them any opportunity to regroup without this costing them. I'm gonna take this cap. Um, Unfortunately, this battleship's being a battleship, and you know, not even 5 minutes into the game, I must YOLO right into insurmountable odds, and then probably cry about why is my damage so poor, or why didn't I get any support. Regardless, I don't really care. Uh, Beyond the fact that this guy is holding me up from torping these battleships. Because these battleships, they're not dumb. They're just gonna let this guy push right into them, and boom. You know, why deal with a crossfire? Those guys played it perfect. Now, this is where they make the mistake. Okay, we've been sitting here for a while, yada yada. We're safe, and you know, he pushes up, and my torps are right on him now. Um, I smoked up when I saw the torp bomber. I do not want to be spotted here. Do anything to blow my cover. Uh, I don't even want to shoot at this Montana. I get a fire on that Bismarck and a buttload of torp hits on the Montana, and the Montana goes down to a flooding tick. I'm using hold on. We're gonna stop this because there's a lot going on. Okay, I'm gonna recap that. So basically, I'm coming into cap having had Allied radar push off the Shimakaze. That creates the space I need to cap. Um, I'm pushing up here to cap. I see a couple battleships posted up here. It looks like they're looking to push middle and create a crossfire between, the stuff they've got down here and the middle of the map. It's actually a pretty strong move if, there's not a destroyer sitting right there waiting to torp you. Um, so originally I was just going to run off and save my smoke. Um, However, the I saw the enemy torpedo planes come in. I knew I was going to get detected. I was already starting to accelerate, so just smoke, slow down, and use my defensive fire to try to, you know, soften the blow that enemy CV strike is going to have on my allied ships. The Montana ended up poking right into my torpedoes. He 87 died with the flood, and I got a last minute fire on this Bismarck. And basically, my engagement pattern was dump the torps on the Montana, start focusing the planes down because I don't want my allies to take a bunch of damage over it. I am an AA ship, even though I am a destroyer. I mean, if you look, these are tier 10 planes. I've already shot down 9. Uh, and then once I'm comfortable that I've done everything I could on the AA front, I get some shots off on this Bismarck, not wanting to disturb this Montana. I don't want to spook this guy at all. I want him to come right around that corner nice and dumb into my torps, and that's pretty much what happens. So looking up here, this Bismarck, he's still ticking. The CV strike's still coming in. So I'm, again, just focusing. I'm not going to leave this smoke. I don't want to fire. I don't want to do anything to give my position away. I just want to try to shoot down as many of these planes as I can. Um, Without defensive fire, it's, with this current build, it's, not like normal. That Bismarck, he burns down, didn't have damage control. And at this point, I'm clicking fighters. I want to make sure my CV can win the air fight as easy as possible. And this is also telling me that the enemy CV, he's a bad CV player. Locking your fighters up over, a Yamato, a Wooster, a Minotaur, a Grozovoy. I mean, I'm not spotted here, so he doesn't really know I'm here outside of there's a smoke here. Um, but still, he knows that Wooster's there. He knows the Montana and most likely the Minotaur are there. Uh, he just threw his planes away, and that's kind of that's rough. Um, Wooster's pushing up, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing. This Shimakaze gave the slip to these cruisers. He's pushing into B cap. He's going to be detecting my hack soon, and I've got a Wooster in the middle of the map. He's broadside. I'm using AP. Um, just kiting away, doing you know, as best I can to get some damage in on this guy. And this is a disaster. I need to get this Shimakaze turned around um, because he's spotting my hack, and now you can start to see the shots are coming in. And fortunately, I had torps that are pushing everybody that's in here away from my CV while my CV is running. I'm shooting. I'm trying to do everything I can to distract because losing your CV, particularly this early in the game, is devastating. And I want to get up here and I believe my CV was able to disengage. I went on ahead and laid a smoke screen anyway. I didn't know exactly where that Shima uh, was at the time. I wasn't sure if there was a second one up here. Uh, Actually, no, there wouldn't be. Checking the mini map. The other one is in the south somewhere, but that was a long time ago. He could be up here. Uh, the Shima turns out, probably seeing that, I'm sitting right here. I'm not going to. He's not going to be able to push me. And I'm far enough away. The Wooster's going to struggle to do any sort of damage. Um, and I mean, this is just insurance. Um, is it a wasted smoke? Probably. Um, but I want to make damn sure I do not lose my CV. Um, so I use my second smoke. I don't really consider this a waste. Um, but I basically lay it here so he can run up into this corner and nothing can really push him. So at this point, the division that was wait, was that a division? The parts of the division maybe. You know what? I want to say this guy was part of the division with the APOC player, and they're coming in defending ACAP, and I'm pushing in. I'm just gunboating. I'm letting these planes get in here close, use my defensive fire, and basically want to shred as many of them as I can. Um, the planes are my priority. If you're looking, um, I'm clicking, and now if I am shooting, I am just doing that based off my free cam. That's another thing you can do. You can basically take your point of aim and then hold your right mouse button, and then you can click away, and it will shoot at your last point of aim. And you can do things like dodge torpedoes or click planes and um, all that kind of stuff, and still be able to shoot as long as you're not holding down your control button. So just a little pro tip if you ever wondered how a destroyer player is able to keep shooting while he's making crazy torpedo beats. Um, that's most likely how they're doing it. The accuracy it's okay uh, up close, um, like say under 7 kilometers. But if the ship starts maneuvering, obviously it's gonna throw your point of aim off. So usually you get like 1, 2 volleys that are, you get some hits, and then you got to kind of readjust. But it gives you a period of time where you can do something else while you're keeping your guns in the fight. So just a little tip or trick that it might help somebody. At this point, this game it's a wash. It's over, and I'm pushing south as hard as I can. I don't think I'm going to be able to really get in on the action with the Shima and the Wooster. So really, the only damage left for me is the CV and whatever planes he's going to fly across. And I'm anticipating he's going to fly his planes right across the map, um, the middle of the map, just because that's pretty much what he's been doing. He's ignored me the last couple strikes. I don't know if he feels, you know, not comfortable enough dropping destroyers, or just because I've either been smoked up or had defensive fire or what, but he hasn't tried to hit me. I do have defensive fire up, um, and here comes the planes. So I'm going to click them. I'm going to hold off. It's only one squad of planes. I'm going to wait until I know I can get both these torpedo planes into my AA and, you know, work on them. I got 3 out of the first, and, just going to town on the second one. So once I've got the DBs clicked, at this point now I'm using my guns. I'm in range. I spot the Wooster, the Midway, and I'm gonna try to do some damage farming. Um, Now the armored flight deck right now is preventing me from really getting any sort of consistent damage. And what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get shots in on the hull of his ship. I can do damage to that. This angle's kind of rough, um, so that's why I'm aiming somewhat low. I'm just trying to drop those shells in onto the side plating of his ship, and I mean right now, um, I just want to keep all my guns on target. He starts turning out, most likely he's worried about hitting the border. Um, you know, CV players that don't want to die, they just basically plow right into the border. And above all, if you stay angled, you can tank a ridiculous amount of damage. And you see, as soon as he gave me broadside, the kind of damage the HE started doing. And I was thinking about staying in the cap, and it was just too late. And you know what? It's good that I didn't, because by not capping, I got, probably 15k more damage, somewhere around in there, just by letting those fires tick. Uh, I mean, I would have gotten some of that if I would have got that cap, but whatever. Um, I wanted the damage more than the cap. I already had a full base cap anyway. So going over the scoreboard, 130k, 7 torpedo hits, 35 planes shot down, 2600 base XP. Um, I mean, Grozovoy, she's solid, solid ship. I mean, I think she's a little overpowered with all the tools that she's got uh, these days. Um, looking at the planes, was primarily trying to protect my allies, not really doing a lot of air control to help my CV win the air battle. So hopping over to the credits. Just want to give you guys a quick breeze through with the kind of results you would get. I do have the special camo on it, and I believe I'm also flying the what is it? The 20% service cost. So between the tier 10 camo and the flag, it's I guess it's like minus 60% service cost. Um, so you know you can even see that this is it's a decent game. It's not like record breaking or anything like that. You know, after the bills are paid, even without premium, you know, still do a solid, you know, almost 3K of credits. Um, so it's one of those things that if you just want to make a one-time investment into the game, if you look at these things like an investment, um, the tier 10 camos they are rather nice, especially with the way wargaming seems to be pushing a lot of tier 10s. Um, Being able to, you know, play ranked or clan battles or whatever, and constantly get 150 to call it 300k credits, every game that you perform decent in, that eases up any sort of stress on you, trying to make sure that you're not going to run out of credits or something like that. So I do look at that as one of the lasting, I'll call it an investment into the game, because 5,000 doubloons and you're done. You can play that ship, without premium. You can just lock down your account and not spend any more cash on the game. And you can make credits. You look at the XP flags. I forget all the. Um, I don't think I had that many. Let's see. The camo, the daily win. So yeah, I mean, I didn't even have a lot of the. I didn't have any of the XP flags on there. So um, all in all, it's 10. Almost 11k commander XP and XP. That's a pretty solid result for no premium. So anyway, I hope you guys didn't mind me rambling on about the economics of everything, but I have had people express an interest in seeing these pages and kind of talking through how to pay the bills at tier 10. So I hope you guys enjoyed the game. I will talk to you later.